Hello again, Irish fans, and welcome to this week's edition of Inside Notre Dame Football with Brian Kelly. I'm Jack Nolan, joined as always by the head coach of the Fighting Irish. And Brian, this is my 39th year covering Notre Dame football. The signature game during those 39 years had been the 1988 victory over number one Miami. That game is now joined by your victory on Saturday over top-ranked Clemson. What made this thrilling double overtime victory possible?
Well, I think a lot of things. First of all, an identity that had been developed throughout the past couple of months by our football team, one that I think came to fruition in this game. They were fearless, regardless of what the circumstances were. They kept playing. When it didn't look like it might go our way, they had resolve, and character comes out in times like this. And just like you mentioned, in the game that was considered one of the greatest of all time, Notre Dame had to dig deep again to win those games. And character usually wins those games, and this team has great character.
Coach and I will be back to break down all the thrilling action of Notre Dame's 47-40 double overtime victory over top-ranked Clemson right after this timeout. It's time now for our game breakdown, brought to you by Cannon. Coach, you always want to start fast, but you can't start any faster than you did in this game on your first official play from scrimmage, the 65-yard touchdown run by Kyron Williams.
Yeah, that was exciting. Well executed. This will go down as one of those diagrams that you put up there at every clinic you go to, because it was clinic blocking. Jack, it was just a thing of beauty and a great way to start the game.
Now you're leading 13-10 in the second quarter when Jeremiah Owusu-Koramoah comes up with a huge 23-yard fumble return for touchdown.
He was on Travis Etienne before he even knew it, and took the pitch right from him and turned it into a huge play and a touchdown for us. He's a playmaker, and he's a playmaker on defense, and one that you have to clearly game plan for, and it was a big momentum play for us.
And on the next Clemson possession, Owusu-Koramoah does it again, forcing an Amari Rogers fumble. Nick McLeod recovers the fumble. That leads to another field goal, and you lead 23-10.
Yeah, another great defensive play, getting the ball out. And it's just unfortunate that we couldn't convert because we just had a couple of missed opportunities down in the red zone that, cost us a few points, quite frankly.
Now you dealt with some adversity in the fourth quarter, and you were down by a touchdown, 33-26, when you get the ball back with 1:48 left. On that possession's fifth play, Ian Book finds Avery Davis with a huge 53-yard pass to the Clemson 4-yard line.
Yeah, we wanted to isolate their safety in a one-on-one coverage situation. We had it earlier, and that was the pass breakup they had in the back of the end zone to Avery. We came back to a similar play where we were able to isolate him on the safety. Avery did a nice job of showing as if he was going to go to the corner route, and was able to get inside the safety. Very good throw by Book, and Avery takes it all the way inside the 5-yard line.
And then fittingly, 3 plays later, Book finds Davis with a 4-yard pass for the touchdown with 22 seconds left. Now, the folks with me said, do you go for 2? And I screamed no. Did you ever think of going for 2 in that situation?
Not really. I mean, you think about it a little bit, but we had worked too hard to get back in the game. It just didn't seem right to me that we were going to use all of our energy to get back in the game and then go for a 2-point conversion at that time.
People will remember Kyron Williams' 65-yard touchdown run to open the game, and he's fast, but they may not remember that your 2 touchdowns scored in the overtime were scored on power runs up the middle by Williams. He's as physical as he is fast.
There's no doubt. I mean, when he runs in there, he's bringing the hammer, and you could see it on the last touchdown run. The safety's unblocked, and he comes downhill, and Kyron rocks him.
You told your team all week that if they were going to beat Clemson, the top-ranked team in the country, they were going to have to take the victory away from Clemson. And on Clemson's final possession, your defense did just that, and they started by sacking DJ Uiagalelei on the first 2 snaps of that last possession of the game.
Yeah, we had got the momentum back now. I flipped sides and went down towards the band so we could get a little bit more energy, get a little bit more momentum. And it really paid off for us because now with us being up, I think everything now started to get the momentum going on our side, and we get the big sack on first down. And now our guys are playing with great energy.
On the final play, Clemson tries to come up with a miracle. They don't succeed. What went through your mind and your body when that play ends and you know your team had won it?
You never really know until you see, the referee raise his hand that the game is over. So once I saw his hand was up, by that time everybody is, congratulating me. All of that stuff happens so quickly, you don't have much time to think about it. I was just happy for our players and our coaches and all the work that they've put in to get to this point. It's been a long run to build it up to this point, and now we've got to continue to do our jobs to keep elevating.
You talked about the energy in the stadium. Only 11,011 fans were lucky enough to see this historic win in person, but during the game, Coach, they sounded like 50,000 people.
I was impressed. I really was. It was a really true game experience. Our guys felt it. We felt it. You could hear it. It was really very, very impressive to get that feeling with only about 11,000 fans.
Folks, we will give you a behind-the-scenes look at Notre Dame's historic win over top-ranked Clemson on this week's edition of Icon when we return after this short break on Inside Notre Dame Football. Huge Notre Dame wins like this week's win over top-ranked Clemson are one of the reasons Fighting Irish Media created our weekly Icon feature. We know you will enjoy this week's Clemson edition.
Notre Dame has a chance to stop Clemson and win the game. And now, all of a sudden, the feeling on that Irish sideline has changed. Digging in. The Irish are one snap away from a story to tell forever. And you never count that crew out, but still the Irish can knock them off on this snap. 4th and 24, game on the line.
Tonight here in Notre Dame Stadium, the 4th-ranked Fighting Irish of Notre Dame play host to the top-ranked Clemson Tigers. Tonight's contest is the tangible definition of big game.
Play with that fearlessness that we've talked about. Play with that passion. 4 quarters, it's going to be a battle. It's going to be a great opportunity. But keep the basic tenets of football first and foremost in how we play Notre Dame football.
And here come the Irish.
Book from the shotgun. Gives to Williams around the left side, open across the 40, 45, and 50, running down the 40 on the near sideline, to the 20, it's a foot race, he'll win, touchdown, Fighting Irish! 65 yards, Kyron Williams makes it 6-0 Notre Dame. And a handoff to Etienne, hit in the backfield, he won't get it. The number 2 scoring offense in the nation, 46 points per game, 3 and out, first time they get the ball.
Get money early, man.
Hook takes a shot downfield, and it's caught by McKinley at first down, Irish.
Yes, sir! Let's go!
Oh, and the toss, it's in the hands of a Wilson Koromoa, who will score! Touchdown! Bouncing off of Etienne into the arms of a Wilson Koromoa.
Come on, man!
The ball was knocked out, Notre Dame recovers, Owusu Koromoa did it again.
That kid's different!
All right. That's a half.
That's a first half for you.
That first half, that's a warm-up, okay? These games are precious. That's why you remember them for the rest of your life, because you're going to have to do something in the second half that you've never done before. This is where we make a mark.
Book drops back, stands in the pocket, throws it deep down the middle of the field to Javon McKinley. Diving catch at the 30-yard line of Clemson.
That'll do it.
Now we need a dog fight. Let's keep going.
3rd and 1. Irish will keep it with Book, and Ian Book's got the first and lost the football. It's free in the end zone and recovered by Clemson.
Teams rise up in the second half. Great teams find a way to get to victories in the second half.
3:33 left in the game. Number 4 Notre Dame trailing number 1 Clemson 33-26.
This will come down on your shoulders. I told them that. Ian, you're going to win a football game.
Ian Book in his 30th career start facing his biggest moment yet.
Notre Dame now has 1 minute and 54 seconds on the clock with 2 timeouts. Do you believe in miracles?
One play at a time, down the field, and in the end zone. Let's take this. Come on, bring it up. Big on 2, 1, 2.
Long way to go for Ian Book. 91 yards away with 1:48 left.
Here they come with 5. It's picked up, and Book's going to take that shot. Downfield, Avery Davis, 20. Davis, 10. First and goal for the Irish. Third and goal for Notre Dame.
Man, Russ playing coverage.
Book on the roll. He throws end zone, and it is caught for the touchdown by Davis.
Jonathan Dorr is ready. The kick is up, and he drilled it.
Automatic.
All time.
Oh, my goodness. Let's go.
Number 1 and number 4 locked at 33. Here we go to overtime.
They want OT. Let's give it to them. Make a play.
To the goal line and in. Kyron Williams for a Notre Dame touchdown.
2-3 that dog, man. Get ready. Go again, okay?
Williams right to the right side. Powers to the end zone. And Kyron Williams scores again. He is sacked. Adio Gandeji. Loss of 9.
Go, baby.
Moves to the right. Sacked again. Down at the 40. Dalen Hayes. Tonight's captain. Ungalale drops back. Throws over the middle. Ball knocked away. Sean Crawford charted loose. 4th down.
You see the gold helmets bouncing. Everybody on their feet here. The Irish can knock them off on this snap. Ungalale throws. It's caught. It's pitched backwards. Up in the air. It's on the ground. It is down. It is over. And the Irish have knocked off number 1 Clemson.
The most fantastic game in history for me at this stadium.
When you're playing the number 1 team in the country, every other team in that situation folds up and goes home. Except this group right here. It's called resolve. It's called grit. It's called character. It's called the Notre Dame football player that is built different. Game ball's easy. We won a football game today because this kid is a freaking winner.
Oh, yeah. Talk to me. Give it to him.
Ian Book.
It's time now for Instant Reaction, sponsored by SiriusXM.
To shift gears from this night you're never going to forget to moving ahead with the rest of the business of this season and the goals that you still have ahead of you?
I mean, it can be challenging, but I don't think it'll be challenging with this team. You know, obviously we got to go play a really good team next week, but it's football. You enjoy that win tonight. You know, starting tomorrow, we got a new opponent. So we've been talking about that all week, though. You know, after this game, we got some really, really important games to win, and you know, we want to go play in a national championship. So everyone else, everybody knows what we got to do. And we got a really good opponent next week who played this team really well, and it's just going to be a really fun matchup. And I think, the mindset of everybody on this team tomorrow, will be switched. It'll be ready to go, and the coaches do a really good job of getting everybody ready for that.
Hey, Ian, what was it like standing on the sideline after you drive the team down for the score in the second overtime to watch the defense just absolutely dominate Clemson on that last possession?
So fun. A night I'll never forget. Just the fans involved in it, and just watching the defense just do what they did, and just sitting on the sideline, knowing that they were going to, stop them. And it was just unbelievable. And I just started screaming and ran out there and threw my helmet, and it was just a night I'm never going to forget.
It's time now for Irish Intel, sponsored by the experts at TireRack.com. This is where we let Coach control the video and get into the X's and O's of why a play worked. On the first official play from scrimmage for Notre Dame, 1st and 10 from the Irish 35-yard line, Ian Book hands off to Kyron Williams, who does the rest, 65 yards for the game's first score.
Yeah, Jack, this is Oregon, we call it. This is an outside zone play. And you'll see here, all of the offensive linemen are scoop blocking to the left. Great block by Eichenberg. Great block by the left tight end, Michael Mayer. You can see the seam that gets created right there. And then Kyron Williams, as he hits this seam, he makes the safety right here miss. A little inside-out move. Safety misses. He was the only one that was unblocked. And then he uses his speed to the end zone. So well executed, well blocked on the offensive line and tight end. And then the one unblocked player was left up to the running back, and he makes a miss.
With Notre Dame leading 13-7 in the second quarter, Jeremiah Owusu-Koramoah uses his amazing speed and athleticism to come up with one of the great defensive plays in Notre Dame history.
Well, this is a pretty explosive play for us. When you have a guy like Jeremiah Owusu, he immediately sees the outside zone option here, and he beats the blocker and immediately goes and takes the ball away from the pitch that was going to be made to Etienne. Etienne takes his eye off for 1 second, and that's where we see the fumble. And again, Jeremiah Owusu-Koramoah is just so fast. Gets tracked down right at the end there, but just an explosive play from an explosive player.
Coach, we're going to pick it up now with just over a minute left in the fourth quarter. You are trailing by a touchdown when Ian Book hits Avery Davis for a 53-yard gain at the Clemson 4 to set up that tying touchdown.
Well, we get the coverage that we wanted in this formation, and that's the matchup of Avery Davis on their safety. Their safety is a flat foot safety here. Avery does a great job with an outside fake as if he was going to run to the corner, and then brings it back inside to the post, accelerates. Ian throws it on time, and just a great execution of a play gets us down just inside the 5-yard line. Gives us the opportunity here to tie the football game.
That wraps up this week's Irish Intel segment, brought to you by TireRack.com. Coach and I will return to wrap up this edition of Inside Notre Dame Football right after this. In 15 or 20 years, when you look back on this game, what do you think you'll remember the most?
I think probably building the mindset to get this victory. You have to go and have a stronger will and belief that you can do that as well. So I think just building that belief in our players is something that I'll take away from this victory for years to come.
That will do it for this week's edition of Inside Notre Dame Football. Coach and I will return next week to break down all the highlights of the Notre Dame-Boston College game. Until then, for Coach Kelly, I'm Jack Nolan. Thank you so much for watching, and as always, go Irish.